And for the third time in Korean history, the country's leader faces an impeachment trial at the Constitutional Court. President Yoon's trial begins today with the first hearing scheduled for 2 p.m. We have our correspondent Oh Soo-young standing by at the Constitutional Court. Hello there, Soo-young.
Good morning, Tammy.
So, Soo-young, the trial already faces a rocky start with Yoon's legal team disputing much of the proceedings and also Yoon not expected to show up, right?
That's right. Today, the court's bench of 8 members will convene the first trial hearing on the president's impeachment, which, of course, the National Assembly voted on last month. But the president himself won't be showing up, as his lawyers revealed before filing an objection to the hearing on Monday afternoon. Now, his absence was largely expected by the court, which already fixed 4 additional hearing dates. The court is obliged to reschedule if one party misses the first session, but a second absence on the 16th, 2 days from now, that would enable the panel to continue the trial without him. A court official mentioned on Monday that without Yoon present at the first session, it's likely to end quickly. So for reference, former President Park Geun-hye, her first trial hearing lasted around 9 minutes due to her absence.
So we are continuing to see this tug-of-war over the timeline of the impeachment trial, aren't we?
That's right. Yoon's lawyers has heavily criticised the Constitutional Court's emphasis on an expedited proceeding and insists that the trial period of 180 days, as stipulated by law, should be fully observed. Yoon's team on Monday also filed an objection to how the Constitutional Court scheduled 5 hearing dates without consulting the representatives, and further objected to Justice Chung Kye-sun presiding over the trial and filed to recuse or disqualify her. Yoon's lawyers say that Chung, who was appointed earlier this month, has links to the opposition Democratic Party, and her husband is associated with former Chief Justice Kim Il-soo, who is on the National Assembly's panel of lawyers trying to impeach Yoon. Under the Constitutional Court Act, a party may file a motion to recuse a justice under circumstances that make it difficult to expect a fair trial. The Civil Procedure Act stipulates that the trial procedures must be halted until the recusal motion is resolved. However, the court can dismiss the motion if it deems that it was filed solely to delay the proceedings. Now, to discuss the recusal request, the court's acting Chief Justice has decided to convene a meeting as we speak, beginning at 10 a.m.
Well, now that's even before the official arguments begin. Not much progress on the guidelines for the trial either.
That's right, Tammy. So President Yoon's lawyers and the National Assembly, they failed to narrow their differences during the 2 pre-trial hearings that were held, where they should have set out the grounds for impeachment and also drawn up lists of evidence and witnesses they wish to draw upon throughout the trial. And there are various sticking points that remain unresolved. First, Yoon's team says that the National Assembly's panel removing charges of insurrection as a main argument for impeachment makes no sense, as the Assembly's motion to remove him from power cited insurrection as a major reason. They said the National Assembly must vote on impeachment again without insurrection charges. If not, it should retract its withdrawal statement. Now, the Constitutional Court is expected to rule on this matter. Second, there's the issue of whether the proclamation of martial law constitutes an act of state, as Yoon's lawyers insist that his executive powers as president allowed him to do so and is not subject to judicial review. The National Assembly counters this, saying that the martial law decree was illegal. So the court must, of course, determine whether or not the decree was indeed an act of state. Also, Yoon's team filed an objection to the court's decision to obtain records from ongoing trials and criminal investigations over the martial law, arguing that it violates the Constitutional Court Act. So on top of the procedural complaints raised by the team, observers note that these challenges, if accepted by the court, could delay the trial's progression.
Already, Soo-young, we'll have to get back to you once the first session ends. Thank you for keeping us updated, Soo-young.